Hello, I welcome you to the concluding lecture for this week. The topic for this lecture is Media and Information Literacy, Teaching and Learning. This is Dr. Chidimma Bere again. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to 1. Identify some key approaches to how media and information literacy can enhance your understanding of the media. 2. Outline methods of teaching other citizens the effective use of the media. 3. Demonstrate the activities required for teaching people to achieve optimal use of the media. Generally, education provides people with skills that will help them acclimatize and effectively settle into their social milieu, that is, their environment. However, the fundamental purpose of education can be said to be, I quote, to ensure that the students benefit from learning in ways that allow them to participate fully in public, community, and economic life. This is also the whole essence of male education. This ensures that the entire citizenry acquires a body of knowledge, skills, and values that will enable them achieve quality life, simply by giving them the right approach to media use and engagement. Though it is a noble idea to teach citizens about the effective use of and engagement with the media, it is also pertinent to point out that there are some challenges trailing media education, some of which are: 1. Ability to understand the media, that is, decoding, interpreting messages, recognition of textual constructions, etc., and the effective use of the media to understand the world. The Media and Information Literacy curriculum therefore seeks to address certain vital issues that will drive home and achieve the purpose of male education: the development of critical thinking skills necessary for evaluating media messages and developing user-generated content are critical to male education. To achieve this, 5 main components must be treated. These are: assess, analyze, create, reflect, and act. To effectively drive these components largely depends on the choice of the appropriate digital technology for achieving optimal use of the various media outputs. Mail provides a strong platform for youths towards understanding activities in other environments and to engage in intercultural and interreligious dialogues. This makes it imperative for Nigerian youths not to be isolated from these laudable goals. Indeed, given this dynamic, there is an urgent need to teach meal across board for all ages. Basic understanding of media and information literacy and teaching and learning process. Our ability to access quality information affects our attitudes and the social structures, laws, as well as economic and political opportunities we encounter. The 2012 Moscow Declaration on Media and Information Literacy corroborates this view by stating that in order to succeed in this emerging novel media landscape and to resolve problems effectively in every facet of life, I quote, individuals should obtain a critical set of competencies to be able to seek, critically evaluate and create new information, and seek knowledge in different forms using existing tools and share these through various channels, unquote. Media and information literacy provides the platform for these competencies which people require to make informed decisions on daily basis on issues of health, work, politics, leisure, education, etc. As Sereni 2010 quoted in Onuma 2019, I quote, "Participation in contemporary culture requires not just consuming messages, but also creating and sharing them," unquote. These are competencies that should be developed in both formal education and informal settings. In view of the fact that young people constitute a greater percentage of the population in Nigeria, National Population Commission 2006, and globally, the importance of male cannot be overemphasized. Hence, the urgent need to teach this specialization. At this point, let us look into the pedagogical approaches for media and information literacy. Several approaches are available for the teaching of male, some of which will be discussed below. 1. Issue inquiry approach. This is a learner-centered approach designed to focus attention on media literacy related issues. It is a form of inquiry learning, problem solving, and decision making process where learners acquire new skills and knowledge through the underlisted inquiry steps. 1. Identification of the issue. 2. Recognition of underlying attitudes and beliefs. 3. Clarification of the facts and principles behind the issue. 4. Locating, organizing, and analyzing evidence. 5. Interpreting and resolving the issue. And 6. Taking action and reconsidering the consequences and outcomes of each phase. This is a very good approach to teach media and information literacy. As learners, we have the opportunity to explore issues independently. Examples of this approach include topics such as an exploration of the media coverage of child abuse in Nigeria, or even the media coverage of African migrants to Europe. Another one could be exploring the portrayals of youth agitation in Nigeria, in Niger Delta region through media analysis. The second approach is problem-based learning, PBL. This approach combines the development of students' interdisciplinary skills with critical thinking and problem-solving strategies. It is a highly structured comparative learning mode that enhances both individual and collective knowledge because it engages the learners in deep inquiry of real-life problems. This type of learning approach is learner-centered, since all aspects of learning, such as objectives, outcomes, inquiry, questions, and methods, are all managed by the learner. An example of this type of approach is to prepare public relations campaign for the Nigerian police. The third approach is called the scientific inquiry. This refers to the various techniques scientists use to explore the natural environment and come up with explanations based on the evidence they find. The inquiry process is often expressed as a simple set of steps called the inquiry circle. which involves activities such as listed below. 1. Making observations. 2. Posing questions. 3. Finding out what is already known. 4. Planning investigations. 5. Reviewing past knowledge. 6. Using tools to gather, analyze, and evaluate and interpret data. 7. Proposing explanations and communicating the results. Though a purely scientific method, it could also be used for male education. An example of this is investigation of the impact of electronic media violence on Nigerian youths. The next approach is called the cooperative learning. This is the most appropriate approach for male education, as it requires the sharing of views, ideas, and it encourages learning from one another. This is an important aspect of male education. This is the type of instructional approach that groups learners together to perform tasks that will make them accomplish shared goals. Cooperative learning can be in the form of simple pairing to complex modes such as doing projects together, guided peer questioning, or reciprocal teaching. The fifth approach is called case study. This involves an in-depth examination of a single event. It is the use of actual life events to examine how theoretical knowledge can be applied to real-life situations. This is a very good approach for teaching male education because students can select from the range of media messages reaching them on a daily basis. This follows a systematic way of looking at events, collecting data, analyzing information, and reporting the results, which supports inquiry learning among the learners. Case studies allow learners to gain deeper and more thorough understanding of events. Example could be a case study of the media coverage of 2019 presidential elections in Nigeria. The sixth approach is called translation. This strengthens the learner's independent reasoning, as it will engage learners in thinking of how to translate a particular event or activity from one medium to another. Examples include translating a news item in a print medium into a broadcast script. 2. Converting a particular film into a storyboard that corresponds to the scene, identifying the shots, angles, and the translation that are being used in the film. 3. Converting fairy tales into a storyboard to be filmed. And 4. Collecting visual materials related to someone's life and putting them together as a documentary film on the person's personality profile. The next one is called simulations. This is a very good strategy commonly used for film and for other media curriculum units. It is a good device for demonstrating what media learning looks like. In this instance, the teacher simulates or a learner join him or her with other learners and perform classroom tasks. Simulations could be used in the following ways. A. Learners can take up the role of a documentary production team and then produce an interesting documentary for a youth program on television. B. You can equally take up the role of a radio or internet-based journalist investigating how media lectures are taught, especially for a lecture that requires interviewing a particular teacher. You, the learner, can edit a podcast from the interview. C. Learners can take the role of a marketing team from the university, making a brief video introducing prospective students to life at the university. The next one is production. That's number 8. This entails learning by doing, which is a very important aspect of knowledge acquisition in the 21st century. The production of media information content gives learners the opportunity to become in-depth, immersed in learning through exploring and performing activities. By producing the media texts, such as audio, video, and print themselves, learners are able to explore their creativity and to express themselves through voices, ideas, and perspectives. The next few ones we look at under pedagogical approaches. The first one here is textual analysis. This is another approach to teaching meal. It has to do with analysis of the media content through the codes used and conventions for writing the media content. Example could be to pair students up in groups and give them the task of analyzing the conventions and codes used in writing either a news story, a video clip from online news, or from a Nigerian news channel. Contextual analysis. This is a method of assessing media text in the context of the historical and cultural settings within which the context or text had been prepared. Example could be that you pick up a particular film or television program and analyze the circumstances under which such content were produced. This will help to classify the film or media content into various systems. Thus, the news content can be classified according to ownership factors, while the broadcast media content can be classified in terms of how they foster democracy in the country based on program they air. In conclusion, all these pedagogical approaches are presented in the meal curriculum for teachers and are quite good for engaging in meal education. However, some of them are more appropriate than the others, given the particular aspect of media content you want to teach. Whether taught informally or formally, through the classroom or educational setting, meal education is very vital to life because it creates new opportunities for us to improve the quality of our lives. So they are skills that we all must possess. We have come to the end of this week's lecture. Kindly complete the quiz for this week and contribute at the forum. Bye for now. Thank you.